How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about CEI Camber Energy. And I must say, what a day inside of the market. It was very choppy, and I feel that Camber showed a lot of strength, and I think that's something that you need to be aware of. But of course, going into tomorrow, I want to make sure you have a strategy. So let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance going into tomorrow. We want to add this to our homework and as well as our due diligence if we plan on trading inside of this play. And I also know many of you are also holding shares and you want to see what sort of direction can you possibly see. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know how vested shorts are inside of this play. Are they increasing their positions and so on? We're going to figure that all out. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares today. If that is the case, it can give us a bullish signal, and it's something that we need to keep an eye on. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Camber Energy. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.09, being down 4.92%. On the low, it tested $3.05, and then on the high, testing $3.65. Now, when we take a look at our chart, it's a 1-year daily chart. As we see the RSI from down below, it is right at 70.53. And when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, we have strength above the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And one thing that I like to see from Camber, that we were able to actually continue to hold up this $3 level. So this is a key level for Camber, and they've been able to do a great job doing that. As far as for the high on the day, you can see we ended up testing $3.65. So that is a clear area of resistance you want to keep an eye on going into tomorrow. You're going to want to see a retest, because if it's able to actually pass this level at 365, then we can look forward to a move here around $3.82. Another thing also to be aware of is also this area here right at $3.32. So seeing that move coming from where it is at the low threes is ideal. And of course, if we end up getting this move, we could have a lot more traders coming into the play and so forth. Just to kind of go over the volume quickly, on the day you could saw we traded at 214.415 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 386.192 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but for the most part we showed a lot of strength due to the fact that it was very choppy. So keep an eye on that $3 level. You're going to want to see that hold going into the open tomorrow, and then you're going to want to see some price action where it gets to 330, and if the momentum continues, then you'll see some resistance right here around $3.50. But this is key. If we pass this area, that we can look forward to passing that high that we had today of 365. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for CEI. So we can see here on Fintel, we're going to see the short volume numbers. All right, so for the dark pool short volume, we could see here it was around 81.6 million shares. That is crazy, taking that into consideration, knowing when you compare that to the volume that we covered inside of the technical analysis. So as we scroll down on the page, you can see the short shares availability is at 600,000, updated 1 minute ago. And then for the short ball free rate, it is at 9.26%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can clearly see here for October the 1st, which we went over already, we saw was 45.95. So it continues to have short squeeze potential, but it has been going down a little bit. And from what we can see here, what Fintel has done, they've mashed this together in regards to what's also going down inside of the dark pool. So just keep this in mind if you're inside of this play, and this is why it's so important. I always emphasize having a strategy. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CEI. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 138, and then on the outflow, it was 110. When we take a look at the breakdown, we can see on the large, it was 48.66. On the medium, it was 69.92. And then on the small, it was 19.27. Keep in mind, this is in the millions as well. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 41.89. And then on the medium, it was 54.13. And then on the small, it was 13.91. So you can see overall, we had this inflow day and we ended up beating outflows in every single category. I am not surprised about this, and I'll talk about that later on inside this video. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see those big inflow days we had last week Friday, and as well as today for October the 4th being at 6,765. So taking all these numbers into consideration, there is a lot of buying on the institutional side and as well as for the retail side. But I think a lot of this fuel came from the fact that, hey, options are now available. This is not the most greatest of news. I want to make sure I'm being honest with you guys, and I will be talking about that inside of the final thought. So let's get to it right now. So for my final thoughts for CEI, I'm going to continue to keep this play on the radar. I saw today, you know what, it's doing a fairly good job holding up the $3 level. So you're going to want to see a continuation of this tomorrow going into the open. We did have a very volatile market. A lot of stocks did pull back. So seeing it pull back was of no surprise. Another thing to take into consideration, we still have a lot of volume that is coming through the stock. But like I was saying in the previous part, hey, it comes down to the fact that options are now available. One thing that I don't like about this, and I much prefer that they didn't have options at all, it is very easy for manipulation to occur. So with that said, just keep in mind, if you're in this play, it's going to become even more risky. Yes, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be taking part in the option activity, but as far as institutions, the market makers, and so on, you want to make sure you're very careful here. This is why I always emphasize that you have a strategy. You want to know your entry and you want to know your exit. Do not rely on your emotions. Do not rely on greed. Do not just rely and say, well, you know what, I'm going to pull out when I feel the time is right. No, do not do that. You need to know what your profit target is. I talk about this a lot inside of the Discord because, like I said, if you do not have your profit target right through the beginning, greed is going to take over. And especially when you're saying, well, you know what, I want to ride this all the way to like $20, $25, we have to be realistic here. And you also want to make sure you're protecting your initial investment and as well as protecting your trading account so you have money to trade for the next day and so forth. Depends on whether you're swing trading and all that. But again, I just want to make sure that I'm looking out for you guys and you know the risks that are involved when it comes to these particular type of plays. I know you guys did see earlier today, because many of you asked me about doing a video. I think it was on Prague or something. They ended up doing an offering and you just saw what happened with that one. Pulled back big time. I'm not saying that it's not going to come back, but this just tells you what the market is. It is a beast of its own. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your profits and you're not getting caught riding the elevator. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.